This is me, Spoon Beast.
This is it. This is the preview of all previews. This is one time a year, as a gaming fan, I look forward to. Well, one of a few, but this is the big one. I do it on my channel every year. This is Spoon Beast's 2013 E3 preview video. Whenever I've been an active video maker on here, opposed to the first year I joined YouTube, because originally my account was not, it wasn't originally going to be a content making channel, which I could probably go over that on a future video as like kind of like the history of this to give you all some background information on how I even started on here. If any of you are interested, of course. So that was like 2007, and even I think by the time my channel was created, the event had already passed anyway. And 2010, where I was barely active because, well, I guess I had some burnout, and I was not very motivated to make videos. And that was one year I did not cover it as an active video maker because I wasn't very active that year. Every other year, 2008, 2009, 2011, and last year, I've done previews for the events, and I've covered them since they've happened. And 2013 is going to be no different. We've actually built up to this, and you all knew that this video is coming this week. Before I continue and get started, I want to give a big shout out. YouTube made some changes, and we have this new channel art option now for the one channels. And I'd like to thank my good buddy Michael Burhan for making the. If you've been to my channel, the above channel art, it's this new pseudo banner that they have now. It's got the 3D Beast and a whole bunch of Nintendo related characters doing in like a Mario Kart like setting. Looks great. Thank you very much to him. I'll link his channel in the description. It's of course the Nerd Genius, and he has all of his links in the channel. Of course, subscribe to him. I'm subscribed. It do his channel some good if you want some. It's basically similar content to mine. He reviews what happens in the gaming universe every week, and he helped me out immensely by making me this new channel icon, or else I'd still have the ridiculous Picasso Google bubble mat bathroom looking thing as my background display, which would have been horrible if I had to keep that for more than a week. So big kudos to him. Go visit his channel, The Nerd Genius. I'll link it in the description below. But now on to today's topic. Of course, you're going to want to know what I think about Smash Bros. 4 going into E3, but since that's going to be the premier meat and potatoes of this video, I'm going to save that for last. Even when we go through what Nintendo plans to show at E3, I'm still going to skip it until the end because you're not really here to listen to. So we got to build up to it. Let's build some anticipation. We are less than a week away at this point from Smash Bros. 4's actual title and everything being unveiled. So let's start off with Activision and Blizzard. Basically, all we know from them is that they're going to be debuting or showing off probably some gameplay, at least for the 360 and PS3 versions of Call of Duty Ghosts. I don't know very much about this game except for the fact that you can have a pet dog, which is, I guess, some incentive. I'm not very big of a Call of Duty fan. Most of you probably know that. But I think that's a cool little game feature mechanic. It's interesting that this game is being released for both the Xbox and PlayStation of this the current generation of game consoles, but they're also being released for their future counterparts as well. This, of course, being the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, which I will get into as we go a little bit farther along in this video. And of course, Destiny is a game that will be coming out as well. It's an action role-playing game that Bungie's actually working on, and it's going to be released for all four of the consoles again, the previous Xbox and the PlayStation 4. Bethesda, I think that's how you pronounce that role-playing development company's name. Bethesda, you can correct me on. You can even do the pronunciation and say how much of an idiot I am. I really don't care. I can't pronounce shit. So of course, this is something that I've been told well before E3 that they're doing the Elder Scrolls Online. Now, that's great. I believe it's going to be an MMO RPG of sorts, open world, similar to WoW. And I've heard that's all going to be on one server. That's a big rumor going around. I don't know why. I would hope that that changes in time, but at this point in time, I've heard that's only going to be one server. I think that's going to be really laggy for as many people who are going to want to play that. I mean, that interests me. That's like playing WoW, except I don't know if they're going to be thinking of doing subscriptions. I don't know if that's been confirmed at this point in time. Of course, we're going to know more come E3. You know, we could potentially see some gameplay of what it's like. That extremely interests me as a fan. I'm not as big of a fan as the standalone RPGs as I used to be. The only ones that I really like are the action ones. Like Kingdom Hearts is one that is a single player one that I can play all the time. If they ever get a second sequel, like legitimate sequel, not 1,000 handheld spin-offs. But I've always been a fan of MMORPGs. I've been thinking about getting Guild Wars for a while now. Me and my friends have anyway. And now the Elder Scrolls Online's coming out, and it's going to be doing the same thing. So this is exciting to me as a fan. It's something that Bethesda is really it's catering to me as a gamer personally because I've wanted to get back into MMORPGs ever since I stopped playing WoW a while back, and this might be my ticket into it. And you know, I've liked Skyrim, and I've enjoyed Oblivion. Those are previous Elder Scroll games, and the first person thing didn't. And I've played Fallout 3. As I said, I like an MMO kind of setting. The whole first person esque role playing game doesn't really suit me very much. I like more whimsical. Basically anything that Square does that's RPG related, I like that more. Which is just personal preference, tomato, but this is very interesting to me. The people are gonna be able to choose their own races, and there's many to choose from. Like you get if they keep the characters as customizable as you can do for like Oblivion and Skyrim, sky's the limit for the different people you can be in if they're gonna have a level cap and all that. So that's pretty cool. The Evil Within and Wolfenstein: The New Order are also other projects that are on the list of these people. So that's cool that they're reviving the Wolfenstein franchise. Interesting to see what they're going to do with it. And if I'm completely wrong on that, I'm just reading a list of stuff that's announced here. You can tell me that, oh, Braden, it's not that not that old, game that was made by the people who made Doom. It's something else. Okay, I'm sorry for being a fucking idiot and thinking it was original Wolfenstein. Deep Silver, who now has the intellectual property that was once THQ's in Saints Row 4. I've never been a big fan of Saints Row. I mean, it's all right. GTA knockoff, and I've never been the biggest Grand Theft Auto fan. I like 3. I liked Vice City and San Andreas in small doses. I've never really got that far behind it. But it's crazy. The more that these Saints Row games come out, the more just fucking outright crazy, wacky, extremely ridiculous they seemingly become. Disney Interactive is going to be releasing showing off Disney Infinity, which is going to be released in August. It's apparently a multiple character game like Skylanders that Spyro's and some little action adventure thing that's probably going to play out the same way. You get little game pieces or whatnot. Interesting, seeing that Disney's Buena Vista Games is still hard at work. EA is, of course, doing their usual shtick of the bunch with Battlefield 4. My brother likes them. They're decent. They're first-person shooters. I really don't care. Dragon Age 3 Inquisition. And, of course, their 3,000 sports games of FIFA 14, Madden NFL 25, NBA Live 14, Need for Speed Rivals. I'm not a sports games fan. If those games appeal to you, big kudos and thumbs up to you. Seriously. I mean, I am just... They do nothing for me. Plants vs. Zombies 2, it's about time. Plants vs. Zombies is a very interesting game, of course. And some untitled game that's going to be done by Respawn Entertainment. That's to be developed by them, but released by EA. So that's not really anything. I have absolutely no idea what that's going to be 100%. From Konami, and this is pretty interesting, Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2. Always great to see Castlevania making strides in the gaming industry still, as they have since the NES. They've mostly been resorted to being handheld games, but that's not a bad thing, as, handheld games could use a few big titles. Pro Evolution Soccer 2014, of course, it's a sports game, I don't care. And the big one, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. This is very interesting. I love Metal Gear Solid. And a 5th game coming out. It's going to be open world, similar to Ground Zeroes. I don't know exactly what they're going to be doing with it, like if there's going to be a new Snake after old Snake, if it continues then, or if it's a like a prequel to like similar to like what Snake Eater was for Big Boss. I have no idea what they're going to do, but Kojima's continuing the series, and that to me is like, oh man, that's an awesome PS4 title eventually. I liked Guns of the Patriots. I liked Snake Eater. I liked the second and first one. Metal Gear Solid is awesome. I do not care for spin-offs for games. I like direct sequels. This is a direct sequel. I'm surprised it's here. I wasn't really expecting another Metal Gear Solid game. So a fifth one, fucking bring it on is what I say, obviously. Microsoft, not very much to talk about other than what I want to get down to in a little bit. The only thing that's really known is Forza Motorsport 5, a race game, sports game, whatever. Quantum Break and Rise, which are probably both going to be released for the 360. And what we don't know anything jack shit about, exclusive, perhaps launch titles for the Xbox One, which is believed to be released by the end of this year. So quarter 4 this year, quarter 4 2013. We don't know exactly any sort of launch titles specific to the One. We don't really know any of them at all. Like the only ones that are really known are Destiny and Call of Duty Ghosts, which are both going to end up being also for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox 360, the predecessor to the One, and the PlayStation 3, the predecessor to the PS4. So we don't really know any exclusive or just for the Xbox One launch titles, which we have been told there's going to be a lot of showing at E3. Everything's being kept really, really hush-hush. We have no idea what they're really planning on unveiling that we don't already know yet. The only game that's real, as I said, has been Destiny and COD Ghosts. That's it. We don't know any single exclusives. They haven't showed anything. They showed some of the console's capabilities in the initial reveal a few weeks ago, but that's it. It's undetermined at this time what kind of games are going to be shown. Maybe Bungie, I don't know if they're a second party to Microsoft anymore. Maybe they're making an exclusive for them, but with Destiny it seems kind of like a stretch. Maybe the developers for Gears of War are going to cook something up. Maybe Valve has something in the works that we haven't heard about. There's something's got to give. The One's got to have some sort of big, console titles to its own name that aren't for, going to be sold for the PlayStation 4 as well. It can't. That to me it doesn't seem likely. So I think we're going to see some titles at least revealed for the Xbox One at some point. Namco Bandai, not for what you guys want to hear. Dark Souls 2, one of the games they create. It's going to come out for multiple consoles. Okay. Natsume is releasing Hometown Story. Nintendo, and yes, this is over halfway, folks. And of course, I'm just going to skim over what y'all want to hear about. Bayonetta 2. Great to see Bayonetta out there. Good Sega-published game. They're trying to give it some more steam, I heard, with some rumors that have been going around. I'll touch upon them a little later on. Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past 2. Interesting. What many people consider, as well as my friend Kevin, shout out to him, as the best Zelda game ever made. Of course, that was released for the Super Nintendo. It'll be interesting to see how they continue it. The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker in HD. HD remake, The Wind Waker, kicked ass. I loved it for the GameCube. I'd love it for the Wii U. Might as well. That's all I gotta say. Or no, I think it's coming for the 3DS, isn't it? Yeah, maybe the 3DS. I think that's it. Speaking of the 3DS, Mario and Luigi Dream Team. Of course, for those of you who don't know, it's the Super Mario Superstar Saga RPG line that Nintendo's been releasing since the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. It was before the DS, and now it's going to get its 3DS version of Mario and Luigi Dream Team. It's cool. The first one will always have a special place in my heart for making Gino the puppet in the little game show machine. Funny how I remember it for that. All copyrights go to Square Enix. Pikmin 3, this is given. It was actually completely unveiled last year for the first time since it was announced 4 years prior. E3 2008 at Nintendo's press conference, Pikmin 3 was announced. I previewed the game before the event when it was confirmed. And we didn't see jack shit of all of it. It was supposed to actually come out for the Wii, and they just really took their time with it and made it a Wii U title. And it's going to be a launch title. It's going to come out, well, not really a launch title. Wii U is already out, so derp. Nice one there, Spoon Beast. But it's going to be a title coming out in the summer. Nice summer title, right before the the part where the Wii U turns 1 year old. It's gonna have a big Nintendo title coming up. More Pikmin's always good. Pikmin's fun. Olimar's awesome. So are the Pikmin. Awesome to see. Finally coming out years later for a next-gen console. I would have never predicted that 5 years ago. 5 years ago, people. That was my first E3 preview and predictions video. Man, I'm getting old. Pokemon X and Y, the next generation of Pokemon. More is going to be shown. I briefly mentioned this in my last video, which was also about a Pokemon rep from one of these games possibly being in Smash Bros., whether it be Pokemon Trainer or a standalone Pokemon on their own. Genesect is one of the people that you people out there on YouTube land think may be somebody who could be in the next Smash Bros. Game, which is, of course, going to be unveiled. Another unveiling, the new Super Mario game. Hopefully it's an overworld, first-person sort of deal. That's the only place they can go with this. I want to see it happen. It's not likely, but what is this Wii U exclusive Mario going to be? I don't have any suggestions. I think doing complete overworld, first-person, slightly RPG-ish Mario is the best way to go in a new generation console. So much you could do with that tablet controller now that it seems fitting. And of course, the next Mario Kart is going to be unveiled as well. Everyone since like Super Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo's had a Mario Kart series. Mario Kart 64 on the Nintendo 64, Double Dash on the GameCube, Mario Kart Wii for the Wii, and probably Mario Kart Wii U or Mario Kart U or whatever the fuck they want to call it. It's going to be unveiled come Tuesday. And the Wonderful 101, which is a clan of little mini superheroes that you play as in an interesting and unique game, is going to be further showcased at E3 2013, despite already being announced. Perhaps some gameplay will be involved. It's that and Bayonetta 2, maybe Mario Kart after its unveiling, and Pikmin 3 are like really the only games that you probably are going to get to play on the game's floor. Which brings me to this. Nintendo is actually, believe this people, instead of having a big games floor at the convention in California, everybody who goes to a GameStop, I believe it's GameStop, EB Games, GameStop, whatever the fuck, anybody who goes there on the days of E3, so that's between June 11th and June 13th next week, will be able to play these demos in these select stores all across North America. That is interesting. I don't think any company's ever done that before. And for Nintendo to take this kind of step, to have all these people play from this continent in their local GameStop or EB, kudos to you, because that's a truly original, unique idea. It broadens the gameplay for everybody on a larger, grander scale, and E3 is already pretty big to begin with. And just let people have at her and try these games. It's a very great marketing technique. I can't thank them enough. Nintendo, they're the fucking masters. I mean, I'm a fan to the death. I'm old school, though, so that's that. And Sony, of course, these are basically all PlayStation 3 games that have been announced. Is, of course, Beyond Two Souls, the only game I'm actually looking forward to buying this year. It's scheduled to come out in October, Q4 this year. It is, of course, the people who also developed Heavy Rain and Fahrenheit, a.k.a. Indigo Prophecy. They are extremely known for playing out scenes of their games. They're basically motion acting. You press buttons or toggle the sticks in different combinations to play out the scenes, and you end up making the fate of the game in your own hands. Like, if you end up fucking up and everybody dies, that's your own fucking fault for not playing properly or making the right decisions. So it's really leaves you on the edge of your seat. Beyond's going to be no different. It's an epic tale. You know, the cops are after this one girl because she possesses some sort of being that speaks with her, that it's its own identity, and they think she has some power that could corrupt the world, so they're after her, and it's a big hunt on her, and you got to play her. You meet different people, and you try not to get caught by the law, basically. It's a runaway game at its best, but with two souls. I cannot wait. That's coming out later this year for the PlayStation 3. Gran Turismo 6, Racing, Infamous Second Son. Of course, the next title in the Infamous series, I believe it's a prequel, so this is before Cole, everybody. Killzone Mercenary and Killzone Shadowfall, of course, are Killzone games. They're FPSs. I, of course, was an early advocate in Killzone in my younger years, but I do not no longer give a shit unless I'm playing Radic and PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. The Last of Us, Naughty Dog's, of course, really anticipated release for this year. is, of course, definitely going to be playable on the games floor. It's just fucking no way it's not going to be. That's coming out later on this year as well. And Puppeteer. And, of course, the big question is, what the fuck is the PlayStation 4 going to look like? We're going to find out either before E3 at the beginning of next week, or we're going to find out on Sony's actual day when they're on giving out presentations. We've seen the controller. We've seen some of the capabilities of the actual software within the hardware, but we have not yet to see the hardware itself minus the controller. That all changes next week as we basically prepare to see what the PlayStation 4 is going to look like. We know what the Xbox One looks like. The Wii U's been out for months. We don't know what the PlayStation 4 looks like, but we will soon. It's going to definitely be, I really don't know. There's so many awesome, cool concept fan art that I don't want to really get my hopes up, because seeing something cool like that that's graphically designed by some computer animator compared to what they end up showing is just a big old piece of computer. It might be a little bit underwhelming, but I'm holding out hope. It's probably going to look like the PS2 or PS3, big, black, huge piece of fucking hardware that just processes a shit ton of graphics, like usual, for its time, until they, keep kicking ass. So we finally get to see what that console looks like after it being revealed, and I think February is when they revealed it. That was a long time ago now. Square Enix, one of my favorite people ever, is, of course, releasing Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13. Like, as if that series didn't need any more fucking add-ons to it. Murdered Soul Suspect, Thief, and I'm sure they're publishing those more than they're developing them. And, of course, some sort of course, untitled Final Fantasy series entry, because that's what gets all the attention from them. Who gives two shits about Kingdom Hearts? The fans like me who care about KH more than Final Fantasy, you fuckers don't matter. Wait for the next 3DS or PSP game to come out. Thank God for HD Collection, so I can finally get the first one and Rechain of Memories on my PS3. It only took them a whole gaming generation for that re-release to come out. Ubisoft is, of course, releasing their fair share of games as well. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag looks very fun, I'm not going to lie. Rayman Legends, like Rayman Origins, is going to be fucking kick-ass. They got the rights to South Park The Stick of Truth, of course, the South Park online RPG that's going to be coming out. That was originally licensed to THQ, but of course now with Ubisoft, since they went and tanked under earlier this year. Tom Clancy Splinter Cell Blacklist, regular old Tom Clancy, our fucking first-person shooter game. An untitled game to be developed by Ubisoft Reflections. Again, doesn't really leave you much, except you know that they're going to develop a game, and it's going to be published by them. Ooh. And, of course, Watch Dogs as well. So big stuff from Ubisoft. And Warner Brothers is, of course, going to be releasing Batman Arkham Origins. A lot of people are questioning this game, but the last three have been good, so why the fuck won't this one? Dying Light, of course, as well. Scribblenauts Unmasked, a DC Comics adventure, so basically a DC-based Scribblenauts game, will be very interesting. And Lego Marvel Superheroes as well. So a lot of big stuff from all these companies, and this is just stuff that's been announced. There's still some stuff that'll just pop right out of nowhere and surprise the shit out of you, which leads me to something that's been announced, but we have no idea what's going to be going on. Super Smash Bros. 4, everybody, is going to be officially unveiled on Tuesday, June 11th. That, as of right now, is less than a week away. Literally, it's like 4 or 5 days away. That's huge. We've been counting down this since the first time it was announced, so basically 2 years ago. What we know is that the title's going to be finally unveiled, so we can actually call it by its official name. Watch it before this whole time, so I've been calling it the right title. No, they won't do that. But the big question coming out of this is, what are they going to do? Well, here's what Spood Beast thinks they're going to do, and this is what y'all came in here to watch anyway. I think they're going to release a trailer in similar vein to Brawl. What they're going to do is they're going to show off the simple veterans, the Marios, Links, Kirby's, Pikachus, some of the original 12. They're going to show them, the typical veterans. They're going to have them battle out as part of the trailer. But every time a newcomer is going to show them and kick one of their asses. Whether it be somebody like a Zoroark. Maybe you could throw in Bowser Jr. Maybe they could throw in Little Mac, Takamaru. Maybe even Shulk from Xenoblade would be cool. Perhaps even they debut, to keep people on the edge of their seats, a third-party character like a Mega Man or a Pac-Man. Make it between 3 to 5 newcomers and 3 to 5 veterans. Have them battle the shit out of each other. Have an explosion go off and boom, show the name. There's your trailer. And that's how it's going to go down. Do not expect any sort of gameplay. People who think they're just going to show simple screenshots are beyond gullible. They're going to show something a lot bigger than screenshots. They're going to show the first teaser. And of course, they're going to show characters that haven't been in Smash Bros. Before because that's what builds hype. They've had a lot of help on this game. Namco Bandai, as I mentioned earlier, have been helping with development since the spring of last year. So I definitely think they're going to get a representative of some sort. It'd be cool if they picked like a Klonoa or a Pac-Man. I really don't see them using a Tekken or Soul Calibur character. They could. But I'm leaning more towards Pac-Man being their chosen representative. If you have any other choices of who you think they'd choose, you can go ahead and say in the comments section. So they've had a lot of help. It's not just Sakurai and his really small Sora team like it was for Brawl, although they had a lot of other people jump back and forth to helping that team. And it's not like Kid Icarus Uprising, where it was just the Sora team that was dependent on developing the game. They've had help from a third-party company that basically brought all of its fighting game technicians down to help make the staff bigger. They were the one, Namco jumped on the ball and said, we're going to help out. Sakurai made just this urgent call to arms to developers to help him out. And basically, nearly a year after the game was first announced to be developed, and a few months into its own development, I would say about 2, because the game started development in March 2012, and I believe Namco joined the party in May, so 2 months later. 2 months later, Namco Bandai is helping them develop the game, and that's definitely sped up the process, and that's why we're so excited this year. So they share some sort of the credit for this. Anyway, what do you think of this year's E3? What are you most excited for? What do you want to see personally as a fan? Include what you want to see from Smash Bros. As well as the other titles this year. What titles would you like to see also unveil? What surprises would you like to see? Comment in the comment section below. Give this video a thumbs up if you loved it. A big old thumbs down if you fucking hated it. Follow me on Twitter at SpoodBeast. Like me on Facebook. Both of those links are in the description. And of course, visit www.fanboysanonymous.com. I'm SpoodBeast, everybody, and I will see you here next week when we cover the actual E3 event. See you later, everybody.